Hello everybody. Today I'd like to do an update on how things have been going with my pea puffers. I posted a video a while ago about the way I set up the tank and how I planned on caring for the pea puffers, and now I've had them for several months, and as you can see in comparison to my other video, which if you haven't seen that you can click on it and watch it, I have had a lot of growth in the tank. Currently, I'm having some algae issues, and that happens every time I put fertilizers in the tank. And I leave the lights on for a really long time. I'm pretty sure if I were to decrease the length of time that the lights were on, I probably would have less problems with algae, but I just like to look at my puffers so much that I don't like to turn the lights off because I really like seeing them. But as you can see, I've had a ton of growth in this tank. In fact, these plants here on the left have like spread out all over. I've got lots of carpeting going on in the hair grass. I've got a mess over here. I've got a mess because this is where the puffers like to eat the worms, and the worms fall in from the hole in the top of the tank. And so the uneaten worms gather here, and I typically can't get to them until I have time to vacuum the tank, which I haven't had time. Tomorrow is the scheduled day. So at first I had a big problem, and the problem was I couldn't get the puffers to eat frozen food. I tried and tried. They ignored it completely, and they would only eat snails. And that was really frustrating for me because I bought the frozen food being under the understanding that they would eat it, and they wouldn't. And I was, I don't mind feeding them snails, but, I felt guilty every time I put a couple of snails in there and the puffers would eat them, because I kind of like snails too. I have pet snails, and I don't know, just felt weird feeding animals to my other animals. So the way I got the puffers to actually eat frozen bloodworms is I put a couple of snails in the front of the tank, and the puffers got excited. They would come up and start to get to the snails, but then I dropped a few bloodworms in the front, and they noticed them and actually went after them and started eating them and attacking them. And now they hang out in the front of the tank because they know eventually sometime today I'm going to drop some more frozen bloodworms in there. And another mistake that I was making was I was defrosting the bloodworms before I put them in the tank, which apparently is not the way you do it. You just put the frozen cube, or I cut off a portion of the cube. Actually, I don't put the whole cube in there because that's way too many pea puffers, or way too many bloodworms. And they just dig at it until it melts, and then they eat the worms, and they like them better cold. So anyway, as you can see, they like to hang out in the front here now. I did lose one pea puffer. I had 5, and now I only have 4. I lost one to, I think, a parasite. I did treat the tank. The 4 pea puffers survived from the treatment. I treated it with General Cure, which is an API product. It's you can get it at any fish store or any pet store, really, that sells fish. I treated the tank with General Cure, and these guys did really well, and there is a 4th one in here. He just likes to hang out in the back somewhere. They did really well, but there was one puffer that just, he was really, really, really skinny, didn't ever eat. I even separated him from the tank when I tried to feed him. I put snails in the container because I knew that was their favorite, and sometimes he would nibble and never really eat, and then eventually he just died. So I did lose that one, and I haven't replaced him because I've been afraid to introduce a new puffer and then introduce more parasites or more disease into the tank. Seeing as how they're all so healthy and happy, I really just felt, I do want to have 5 puffers, but I want to keep the 4 healthy ones that I do have. So maybe someday I'll get another to put in here to supplement the one that I lost, but I haven't made up my mind about that. Plus, I kind of want to get this algae situation under control. I'd like to buy a timer. I don't have a timer that oh, there's the 4th one. Look at that. Now we've got all 4. They never used to come out to the front either. They always were in the back of the tank. And I think that's because I was only feeding them snails. I was never feeding them bloodworms. And that's because they wouldn't eat them. So they were always kind of hunting. They were always around the tank, you know, in the nooks and crannies, hiding behind the plants, hoping to find snails to eat. And what I've noticed is ever since I switched to the bloodworms, they are in the front of the tank now all the time because they know I'm going to feed them. And they're always hungry. They are literally always hungry all the time. So anyway, I think so far it's been a success. It's very common to lose a pea puffer, or any puffer really, to a parasitic infection. A lot of puffers come with parasites and you have to treat them. When you buy new puffers, you have to treat them. And, you know, I took the risk. I knew I was probably going to lose one, and I'm glad I really only lost one instead of, you know, more than one. So anyway, I just wanted to provide an update. I got a little bit more views and likes on the video that I posted last time than I thought I would. So I thought maybe some people would want to see an update and see how the tank is doing now. And I also didn't want to show my tank in perfect condition because most of the time people's tanks aren't perfect. And obviously mine is not. Tomorrow is water change day. I do a 30% water change once a week, and I do that on Saturday. So I haven't done the water change, so as you can see, you know, we've got a little bit of mess in there. So anyway, I just wanted to post an update. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was a little bit helpful to you. And there's my adorable pea puffers. They're just the best ever. I just absolutely adore them, and I'm so glad that they come out now. So, anyway, thanks so much for watching.